Hello friends, in this video we will be learning classification of signals depending upon energy and power. So we will be having three types of classification: energy signal, power signal and neither energy nor power signal. Let's see how. So depending upon the values of energy and power, we classify our signals into three categories, that is energy signal, power signal and a very third category, that is neither energy nor power signal. So we have predefined formulas for calculating energy as well as power. We apply both the formulas. We see to it which quantity is finite. Let's say if energy is finite, then the respective signal is energy signal. If the power is finite, then it is power signal. And to avoid the confusion, I'll tell you. Now student ask me, sir, what if energy is also finite and power is also finite? Then let me tell you, there is no signal exist which will have energy also finite and power also finite. In case if energy is also not defined and power is also not defined even by using the formula, in that case it is categorized into third category, that is neither energy nor power signal. So one thing is quite clear: a signal is said to be energy signal when energy value is finite. A signal is said to be power if its power value is finite. As I said, there is no case where energy as well as power for a particular signal is finite. It never happens. Why? Because there is some relations between energy and power, because of which both the values cannot be finite at a time. You will understand it better when we will actually see what are the formulas of energy and power, and we will establish some relation between energy and power. And third category, it comes when energy is also not finite, so it is infinite, and power is also infinite. In that case, it gets categorized into another, that is neither energy nor power signal. So first of all, let us understand, if some signal is given, let's say x of t, and we have to deal with energy of the signal, how we are going to proceed with this. First of all, if I have to get energy of the given signal, one should also give me an information for what duration of the signal you want to go for energy calculation. For example, here I have taken some t samples like minus t, t1, capital T, t2, and all of them are in terms of seconds. Okay, so let me assume if this x of t signal is given to me and I have to calculate energy of the signal in the duration from t1 to t2. See, I have to get energy of this particular signal in the duration of t1 to t2. So what I'm really concentrating on this area. So this signal of area I'm concentrating on. So I don't want to calculate energy of the whole signal, but I have to concentrate on a part of signal of which I have to calculate the energy. Then how do we get the energy of this? It is very simple. First of all, you have to take a mod of this x of t signal and you have to square it, and you have to then integrate over a period from t1 to t2, because t1 is a lower limit and t2 is a higher limit with respect to time, and this simply gives you energy of the signal. So as I said, in two steps we do it. First of all, we square x of t signal, so mod of x of t square, and thereafter just integrate over a period from t1 to t2 and it gives you energy, and the unit of energy would be joules. So this is one perspective by which we can calculate energy. But then one can suggest that I have to go on calculating energy ranging from minus t to capital T. So now I'm going to concentrate on this area right from minus t to capital T. So now we are interested in this area. Energy calculation I have to go for. So in case number 2, let me call this as case number 1. In case number 2, what we want is I want an energy calculation within the interval from minus t to positive t. Is that right? In that case, as I said, whatever may be the interval, you have to do this operation, that is mod of x of t whole square, and then you have to integrate it over a period within which you want to calculate an energy. Of course, this will be calculated in terms of joules only. Is that right? But for example, if you wish to take energy of whole signal, that is the whole x of t signal, because we don't know from where this x of t is starting and where this x of t is going to end. So you know that in that case we take the integration from minus infinity to infinity. So if I want to go on calculating energy signal for whole signal, we do it like this: minus infinity to infinity interval, then it is like this. It is actually energy of the signal lying between minus t to t, but this time is tending to infinity. Is that right? It means, let's say this minus t is stretched to minus infinity, and let's say this t is stretched towards positive infinity, then it will give me the energy for whole signal. So I can rewrite this as limit t is tending to infinity, and we already have the formula for energy between minus t to t. It is integration over minus t to t mod of x of t whole square dt. Right? Now I'll tell you why we are taking a mod of the signal. See, x of t signal can be either real signal or it can be complex signal also. Is that right? In case if it is a real signal, I can take direct x square of t. That is, for energy calculation, I can directly take x square of t, because we know that in terms of real signal, mod of x of t whole square and x square of t means the same. But in case of complex signal, we cannot square the signal directly. First of all, we have to take magnitude of it, and magnitude we have to square. For example, let's say we can have x of t as 3 plus 4j. See, I can say it is a complex signal because it consists of real part as well as imaginary part. In that case, we have to take a mod of x of t, which is nothing but a magnitude of 3 plus 4j, which is 3 square plus 4 square, because we know that when it is a complex number, how do we take the magnitude? It is under root of real part square plus imaginary part square, which gives you how much? It is 5. Is that right? So in that case, you have to first of all take a magnitude and then you'll have to square it. So x of t magnitude square would be 25. So this is the way we deal with a complex signal. So we don't know in advance whether x of t signal would be a real signal or a complex signal. So you have to be careful and you have to write a generalized expression as mod of x of t whole square, right? So this is about energy of the given signal x of t. We'll now see how to do the power calculations. So when we do power calculations, this word is very important. We go for average power calculation of x of t. Again, I have taken a similar kind of signal, and again I'll be taking three cases. Duration of the signal should be known to you while calculating the power of signal. So we'll take case 1. Let's say I want to calculate power within the duration from t1 to t2, as we have done it for energy signal, right? So I'm going to concentrate within the interval from t1 to t2. So mathematically, power is given as energy within t1 to t2 divided by, since we have to take average of it, so we divide interval. Okay, so right from t1 to t2, if you want to calculate interval of the time period, then it would be t2 minus t1. Is that right? In that case, power calculation within interval from t1 to t2 can be taken as, you remember, energy calculated between t1 to t2, it was integral over t1 to t2 mod of x of t whole square dt. It is divided by t2 minus t1. So we can just take it out of the integration, which is t2 minus t1. This is how we go for power calculation, and the unit of power would be in terms of watt. Let's go on for case 2, where we have to do power calculation, let's say within the interval from minus t to plus t. In that case, again, it is energy distributed over minus t to t divided by interval within minus t to capital T can be taken as 2t. Am I right? Because it is t minus of minus t, which will make it 2t. So it is 1 upon 2t integrating over minus t to t mod of x of t whole square dt. Is that right? So now I'll go for power calculation for whole signal that is within minus infinity to plus infinity. So again, it is very simple. It is same as power calculation within the interval from minus t to capital T, where limit t is tending to infinity. Is that right? Then this is equal to limit t is tending to infinity. Power calculation from minus t to t we have already done. It is 1 by 2t over the interval from minus t to t mod of x of t whole square dt. So this becomes in generalized formula for power. So this becomes the final power formula for having power of whole signal x of t. So we have to obviously go from minus infinity to infinity. So now we will concentrate on final formulas for energy and power. So if you remember, for whole signal x of t, we are taking limits from t tends to infinity. Now the question is, can I directly put t equal to infinity within lower limit and upper limit? Then answer is of course yes. There is no harm to put t equal to infinity in this case. So if I substitute t equal to infinity, lower limit will become minus infinity, upper limit will become positive infinity. Finally, we have this formula. Energy for any signal x of t will be given as integral over from minus infinity to positive infinity mod of x of t whole square dt. So this becomes a final formula for energy signal for given x of t signal. Let's see for power calculation also. Power calculation we have already studied that whenever you want a power calculation within the interval from minus infinity to infinity, we have seen it is same as limit when t is approaching to infinity, power calculation for interval minus t to positive t. And from this we have got this formula. Now the question is, can I go on substituting t equal to infinity everywhere? For example, if I directly substitute t equal to infinity in this place, it will become 1 upon infinity, and 1 upon infinity is what? 0. Whole power will become 0. There is no question of calculating the integration and all, right? So power will become always 0. That's the reason why I'm not going to substitute t equal to infinity in this case. Is it right? Now the question is, can I substitute t equal to infinity in this place also? Then answer is yes, we can do that. It is quite harmless. So now I can write t equal to limit t is approaching to infinity 1 upon 2t integrating over minus infinity to infinity mod of x of t whole square dt. So we are not going to substitute t equal to infinity, so please don't forget that. And it has got a clear reason behind it. In fact, it is suggested that don't even go on substituting t equal to infinity in this place also. I'll tell you reason why. So rather we will avoid it. We will keep the limit from minus t to t, and I'll tell you some possible reasons here. See, when you solve this integration, okay, you don't know what is the value of x of t, so we don't know what is the magnitude of it and what would be a square of it, and we don't know what is the scenario after integrating it. So there are few possibilities. For example, it may come like this, that is 6t. Just taking an example. and then it is divided by 2t, and here tt gets cancelled, so it becomes 3. So you got answer as 3 watts in this case, right? Maybe in second case you might have this integration value equal to, let's say, some constant 5, and now it is divided by 2t. Okay, and you know that t is approaching to infinity, so it might happen power will become 0 watt. Is that right? Again, in the next case, for this integration, let's say we have value like this, let's say 4t square, and now it is getting divided by 2t. Here, you know, tt got cancelled, but we have one more capital T in the numerator, and we know that the value of t is approaching to infinity. So after substituting t equal to infinity, it might happen power will become infinity watt also. So that's the reason why we don't know what would be the value of integration. So it is always suggested that you don't substitute t equal to infinity anywhere in the power formula. There is no harm in substituting t equal to infinity in case of energy, right? But in case of power, okay, this t is present here also, and lower limit also, upper limit also. So we don't know what would be the result of integration. So this tt may get cancelled in these possible three ways. So possible power value can be constant, it can be zero, it can be infinity, like that. So you have to take care of this power formula. Thank you.